The night sky was calm, the stars scattered like tiny diamonds across the black canvas. In a small town on the edge of a forest, Alex sat on the hood of his car, gazing at the heavens. He had always been fascinated by space, by the thought that there might be life beyond Earth. Tonight, that fascination felt sharper, as though something was calling him. A sudden flash of light streaked across the sky, faster than any meteor he had ever seen. It moved with purpose, changing direction smoothly, almost as if it were alive. Alex's heart raced. He had witnessed meteor showers before, but this was different. This was intelligent. The flash landed quietly in the forest nearby. Alex's curiosity overcame caution. He grabbed his flashlight and moved carefully into the trees, every step crunching softly on fallen leaves. His mind was racing. Was it a meteor? A secret experiment? Or something else? When he reached the clearing, he froze. A small spacecraft, sleek and silver, rested among the trees. It was unlike anything he had ever seen. The surface shimmered, reflecting moonlight in colors that seemed impossible. It was alive in a way, vibrating slightly as if it were breathing. Then, a figure appeared. She was small, no taller than a human child, but her presence was unmistakable. Her skin glowed, faintly, soft blue like twilight. Her eyes were larger than human eyes, deep and bright, full of curiosity. Her hair shimmered like strands of silver, moving gently though there was no wind. She looked around, taking in the forest, the stars, and finally, Alex. Alex swallowed hard. "Hello?" he asked, his voice shaking slightly. The girl tilted her head and smiled softly. She stepped closer, her movements graceful, almost floating. She spoke in a whisper that carried like a melody. "Teach me your earthly ways." Alex's mind whirled. He had expected an alien, sure, but not this delicate, beautiful, and seemingly innocent being. "Your earthly ways?" he repeated, unsure if he heard her correctly. She nodded. "I want to understand your world, the sky, the rain, your food, your music, your laughter, everything." Her voice was gentle, almost childlike, but her eyes held wisdom far beyond her appearance. Alex felt a mixture of fear and wonder. He knew he should call someone, warn the authorities, but he couldn't move. Something about her was different. She didn't seem dangerous. She seemed curious. "Okay," he said finally, finding courage in the moment. "I can show you." The alien girl's smile widened. "I will learn quickly. I am ready." Her words were simple, but there was a weight to them. Alex realized she was serious. She wasn't just playing or pretending. She truly wanted to understand Earth. They sat on a fallen log in the clearing. Alex pulled out his flashlight, waving it gently to illuminate the area. "First," he said, "we need to be careful. People might see you. If they do, well, they might not understand." She nodded again, tilting her head as if absorbing every word. "I will stay hidden," she promised. Alex felt a strange sense of trust forming between them. Here was a creature from another world, yet she was willing to rely on him. And he, despite the fear, wanted to help her. "Okay," he said, taking a deep breath. "Let's start small. Do you know what rain is?" She shook her head. "Rain? I have seen your waterfall, but I have not touched it. On my planet, water moves differently. I would like to feel it." Alex laughed softly. "It's simple. Water falls from the sky. Sometimes it's gentle, sometimes it's strong. You can touch it, feel it on your skin. It can be warm or cold." He guided her to a small stream nearby, where raindrops had begun to fall from the clouds above. Lyra, he decided to call her that, extended her hand. The water touched her glowing skin, sparkling like tiny stars. She laughed, a sound like wind chimes, warm, soft, alive, she whispered, marveling at the sensation. Alex smiled. "Yes, it's alive in its own way. Every drop is part of the earth." The forest around them seemed peaceful, unaware of the extraordinary meeting taking place. Fireflies danced among the trees and the wind whispered through the leaves. Lyra watched everything intently, her large eyes absorbing every detail. "Your planet is beautiful," she said softly. "So full of life." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. "We try to take care of it," he said. "Sometimes we fail, but we try." She tilted her head again. "You are kind. I will learn this too, the kindness of humans." They spent hours talking and observing. Alex explained simple things: how people eat, how they sleep, how they play games, and how they make music. Lyra listened carefully, asking questions, always curious. Every answer seemed to amaze her, and every gesture of human behavior fascinated her more. As dawn approached, Lyra looked at Alex with a mixture of gratitude and wonder. "Thank you," she whispered. "Tomorrow I want to learn more. I want to know your world fully. Your ways are fascinating." Alex nodded, feeling a bond forming that he couldn't explain. "We'll take it one step at a time," he said. "But you're welcome. You're not alone here." She smiled faintly, glowing softly in the early morning light. "I am ready," she said. Alex watched her for a moment, then turned toward his home. The night had been extraordinary, and he knew life would never be the same again. Somewhere deep in the forest, a young alien girl had begun to understand Earth, and in doing so, had begun to understand the heart of humanity. The first day of their journey had ended, but the adventure was just beginning, and Alex, despite the uncertainty and the danger, felt a sense of excitement he had never known before. Above them, the stars faded as the sun rose, but the magic of the night lingered. Lyra had arrived, curious and eager, and Alex had promised to show her the world. Their story was just beginning. The sun rose over the quiet town, casting a golden glow across rooftops and trees. Birds chirped, and the gentle wind carried the scent of fresh grass. In the forest clearing, Lyra had already awakened. Her glowing blue skin reflected the morning light, and her silver hair shimmered softly as she observed the world with wide, curious eyes. Alex arrived shortly after, carrying a small backpack filled with simple supplies, bread, fruit, and a notebook. He had spent the night thinking about how to introduce Lyra to Earth without drawing attention. Today he wanted her to see the beauty in everyday things humans often took for granted. "Good morning," Alex said, smiling. "Did you sleep well?" Lyra tilted her head, a faint smile playing on her lips. "I sleep differently, but yes, I feel rested." Alex nodded. "Good. Today I want to show you some of the simple joys of Earth. You will see how humans live and interact." Lyra's eyes sparkled. "I am ready." They walked through the forest, stepping carefully on the soft earth. Alex pointed out different trees, explaining how humans used them for shelter, fuel, and even medicine. Lyra touched the bark, fascinated by its rough texture. "Your world is so detailed," she whispered. "Every part has purpose." They reached a small stream where water flowed gently over smooth stones. Alex knelt and dipped his hand into the cool water. Lyra followed, letting the water flow through her fingers. "It is cold, yet comforting," she said. "Exactly," Alex said. "Humans often find peace in nature. We see beauty in the simplest things, a stream, a flower, or the wind moving through the trees." Lyra listened, absorbing every word. She tried to mimic Alex's gestures, sitting on the riverbank and watching the water ripple. "Your world has rhythm," she observed. "I wish my planet had such calmness." Alex smiled. "Maybe it can, if you take a piece of Earth with you in your heart." They moved on, arriving at a nearby meadow. Wildflowers painted the ground in reds, yellows, and purples. Alex picked a few and handed them to Lyra. She studied them carefully, turning each flower over as if it were a rare treasure. "Delicate, and yet alive," she said softly. "You humans cherish small things. That is beautiful." Alex felt a surge of pride. "Yes, we try. We find happiness in what we can appreciate. Lyra paused, looking up at the sky. Your clouds move slowly. I like that. They remind me of drifting light on my planet. Alex laughed. You see connections everywhere. That is a good skill. Humans sometimes forget to notice the world around them. They sat in the meadow, eating the bread and fruit Alex had brought. Lyra tasted the food cautiously, her eyes widening as she tried each flavor. Sweet, sour, soft, hard, she said, her voice filled with wonder. Food has personality here, it tells stories. Alex chuckled. I never thought of it that way, but you're right. Every meal has a story, where it comes from, who made it, and how it nourishes us. After eating, Alex suggested they explore human music. He pulled a small portable speaker from his bag and played a gentle melody. Lyra's eyes widened as the sound filled the meadow. She tilted her head, listening closely to every note. Your music. It speaks without words. I can feel emotions through it. Yes, Alex said. Music is one of the ways humans express what we cannot say with words. It brings people together and comforts them. Lyra's face glowed with fascination. On my planet, we communicate with light signals and vibrations. Music like this, it is magical. They spent the afternoon learning more simple customs. Alex taught Lyra how to wave to people, how to smile to show friendliness, and even how to laugh at small jokes. She practiced, giggling in her soft, melodic voice. Each time she succeeded, Alex felt a mixture of pride and amazement at her adaptability. As the sun began to lower in the sky, Alex decided it was time to show her something more complex: human empathy. They walked to the edge of town, where a small dog sat alone near a fence. The morning air was crisp and cool as Alex and Lyra stepped into the forest clearing. Birds flitted between the trees, and sunlight streamed through the leaves in golden beams. Today, Alex knew, they would face their first real challenge. The government had begun detecting unusual activity in the area. Lyra's presence was no longer completely secret. Lyra, Alex said carefully, we need to be extra cautious today. Some people are looking for unusual events. We don't want them to find you. Lyra tilted her head, her glowing eyes reflecting concern. I understand. But why are they searching? Because they don't understand yet, Alex explained. Humans often fear what they don't know. That is why we need to stay careful. Lyra nodded. I will do my best. I do not wish to frighten anyone. As they walked deeper into the forest, Lyra's curiosity remained undimmed. She paused to touch the bark of each tree, feeling the texture and energy of the living wood. Your forests are full of life, she said softly. Even the smallest plants have purpose. Alex smiled. Yes, and every creature, every plant, plays a role. That is one thing humans try to understand and protect. They reached a clearing where a small abandoned cabin stood. It had been empty for years, but it was solid and hidden from the main road. Alex thought it would be the perfect place for Lyra to explore Earth safely. This will be our base, Alex said, opening the cabin door. Dust floated in the sunlight, streaming through broken windows, but the space was safe and quiet. Lyra stepped inside, examining the walls and floor, her eyes glowing softly. Your humans make shelters to protect themselves, and clever. Yes, Alex said. It keeps us safe and gives us a place to think, rest, and plan. Lyra nodded, absorbing every word. She moved to the center of the room and extended her hands. To Alex's surprise, small objects, a book, a stone, and a cup, began to lift gently into the air. She smiled, concentrating, and moved them carefully around the room. I can do this naturally, she said softly. It is harmless, but it may surprise humans. Alex watched in awe. It's amazing, Lyra, but we must be careful. If someone sees that, they might panic. She lowered the objects, letting them settle gently on the floor. I understand. I will be careful. They spent the morning exploring more human customs safely. Alex taught her about daily routines, about how humans work together to solve problems. Lyra listened carefully, asking questions, fascinated by even simple concepts. Suddenly, Alex's phone buzzed. He glanced at it and frowned. A news alert flashed across the screen. Unusual energy readings had been detected near the forest. Officials were planning a small investigation. Lyra, they might come here soon, Alex whispered. We need a plan. Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly. I can hide. I can move quickly and quietly. I will not let them find us. Yes, but we must also avoid drawing attention, Alex said. We cannot risk anyone getting hurt. They spent the afternoon practicing subtle movements. Lyra learned to blend with shadows, to move silently over fallen leaves, and to keep her glowing skin dim when humans were nearby. Alex was amazed at her ability to adapt so quickly. Your world is complicated, she said, but humans are clever. You find ways to survive and protect each other. That is admirable. Yes, Alex said softly. Humans are strong in ways you might not expect, not just physically, but in courage, kindness, and clever thinking. As twilight approached, the sound of distant vehicles reached their ears. They froze. The lights of a government SUV flickered through the trees. Alex knew it was time to put their training into action. Stay calm, he whispered. We will hide and wait. Do not make a sound. Lyra's glowing skin dimmed to a soft shimmer. She crouched behind a large tree, her eyes scanning the forest. Alex moved quietly to another spot, signaling for her to stay low. The SUV stopped near the clearing, and 2 agents stepped out, speaking into radios. They reported energy spikes. Here, one agent said. Check every inch. Lyra held her breath, focusing on remaining unseen. She watched as humans moved cautiously, unaware of her presence. She felt a mix of fear and excitement. The first real danger she had faced on Earth. Alex's heart pounded in his chest, but he remained calm, guiding her silently with subtle gestures. Slowly, the agents moved away, not finding anything unusual. You see, Alex whispered after the agents left. Humans can be careful too, but we must always think ahead. Lyra exhaled, her glow returning gently. I understand. Danger teaches lessons. I see the strength and cleverness of humans more clearly now. They returned to the cabin, hearts still racing but spirits strengthened. Alex looked at Lyra and smiled. You did well today. You stayed calm, observed and adapted. That is very human of you. Lyra's eyes sparkled. Then I am learning. I am beginning to understand your ways, Alex. I want to learn more, even if it is difficult or frightening. Alex nodded. Tomorrow, we will continue. I want to show you how humans create, how we build, and how we solve problems together. You will see the best parts of us, even with challenges. Lyra's small hand reached out and lightly touched his. I trust you. I will. Follow your guidance. I wish to see everything. As night fell, the forest was quiet once more. The stars sparkled above, and the gentle hum of life surrounded them. Alex realized that their bond had grown stronger through the challenges of the day. Lyra was not only learning about Earth, she was learning about humans, and humanity was learning from her as well. For Alex, the most extraordinary part was not the alien herself, but the lessons she brought. Lessons about curiosity, courage, and trust. Humanity, he thought, was more than just strength or intelligence. It was the ability to face challenges, adapt, and care for others. Lyra settled in the cabin, her glowing form dimming for the night. She looked out the small window, her eyes reflecting the stars above. Tomorrow, she whispered softly, I will see more. I will understand more. I am ready. Alex smiled, feeling hope and wonder intertwine. Together they had faced their first challenge, and together they would explore the world of Earth and the heart of humanity. The morning sun filtered through the forest, casting warm light on the small clearing where Alex and Lyra had made their temporary home. The air was fresh, carrying the scent of damp earth and pine. Today, Alex wanted to show Lyra more than just nature. He wanted her to understand humans on a deeper level: creativity, empathy, and community. "Good morning, Lyra," Alex greeted her with a smile. She was sitting quietly by the cabin window, watching the first birds of the day flit between branches. "Good morning, Alex," she replied softly. Her glowing skin shimmered faintly in the sunlight, and her large eyes reflected curiosity and thoughtfulness. Alex took a deep breath. "Today I want to show you how humans make and create. Not just food or tools, but art, music, and ideas. These things tell stories about who we are." Lyra tilted her head, intrigued. "Stories? Through objects and sounds?" "Yes," Alex said. "They are ways to express emotions, experiences, and dreams. Humans do this to connect with each other, to share what we feel inside." They walked to the town, moving carefully to avoid attention. Alex led Lyra to a small community center, where people gathered to paint, play music, and craft. The walls were filled with colorful drawings, posters, and handmade decorations. Lyra's eyes widened. "Humans express themselves through color and shapes," she whispered, stepping closer to study the paintings. "It is like communicating without words." Alex nodded. "Exactly. Art helps us understand each other. It shows feelings, stories, and imagination." Lyra ran her glowing fingers gently over the edge of a painting, careful not to touch the paint. "On my planet, we communicate mostly through light and vibrations. Your colors, they carry emotions I can feel." They spent hours observing and learning. Lyra tried painting herself, carefully mixing colors on a small canvas. Her movements were precise and delicate, yet her strokes carried emotion. Alex watched in amazement. "You are very talented," he said. "You're learning fast." Lyra looked at him, a soft smile forming. "I want to understand humans fully. I want to feel their creativity and joy." After painting, Alex took her to a small music room where a group of children played simple instruments. Lyra listened, tilting her head, her glowing form pulsing gently with the rhythm. She tried to play a small drum, feeling the vibrations through her hands. "Music. It moves the soul," she said softly. "It carries energy, like light on my planet, but warmer. I'm full of feeling." "Yes," Alex agreed. "It brings people together. It teaches patience, cooperation, and understanding. It shows that we are connected through shared experiences." Lyra practiced playing carefully, her movements fluid and precise. She smiled, and for the first time, Alex noticed a small, playful sparkle in her eyes. "I begin to see. Humans are not just strong or clever. You are expressive and emotional. You care deeply." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. That is true. Being human is about more than survival. It's about connection, understanding, and growth. After music, Alex suggested they visit the town's small library. Rows of books lined the shelves, each one holding stories, knowledge, and ideas. Lyra approached a shelf with awe, her fingers brushing the spines of books. "You store knowledge in these objects?" she asked. "Yes," Alex said. "Books contain lessons, stories, and experiences. Humans learn from them and they connect generations." Lyra pulled out a small book, opening it carefully. She scanned the pages, absorbing the words. The morning air was tense as Alex and Lyra stepped out of the cabin. The forest was still, almost unnaturally quiet, as if it knew that today would be different. The previous days had been full of learning and discovery, but today, danger lurked nearby. The government agents were returning. Alex glanced at Lyra. "Stay calm," he whispered. "We have to be careful. They are looking for unusual energy readings and they might find you if we're not smart." Lyra nodded, her glowing skin dimmed to a soft shimmer. "I will stay hidden. I will follow your guidance." Her voice was steady, but Alex could sense her curiosity mixed with anxiety. They moved carefully through the forest, avoiding open paths and sticking to the shadows. Lyra's steps were light, almost floating, but Alex reminded her to stay grounded. "Remember," he said, "we blend in. We don't draw attention." Hours passed, and the agents were nowhere in sight. Alex allowed himself a moment of relief. "See? We're fine for now. Humans are clever when they plan." Lyra's eyes sparkled faintly. "You are brave. You remain calm even when there is danger. I admire that." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. Humans are strong in ways you may not notice immediately. Courage is not just fighting. It is thinking, acting, and protecting those who need it. They spent the morning reinforcing their hiding spots, preparing safe paths through the forest, and practicing subtle movements. Lyra was a quick learner. She could move silently, hide in plain sight, and even sense approaching humans with a faint awareness she did not fully understand. By midday, Alex decided they should visit the town briefly to gather supplies. "We need food and some basic things. We'll be careful," he said. Lyra followed, keeping to shadows as they moved. They entered the small local store where Alex picked up fruits, bread, and water. Lyra marveled at the variety of colors and shapes. "Humans eat so many types of things," she whispered. "Each has its own story and purpose." "Yes," Alex said. "We grow, cook, and share food. It is a way we connect and care for each other." As they left the store, a vehicle approached, a black SUV with dark windows. Alex's heart skipped a beat. The agents were nearby. "Quickly," he whispered. "We go the long way back through the alley in the woods. Don't be seen." Lyra nodded, her glowing hands dimming further. They ducked into a narrow path between buildings, moving carefully. The SUV slowed, then passed, oblivious to the two figures hiding in the shadows. "They did not see us," Alex said softly, letting out a sigh of relief. "But we must remain alert." Back in the forest, they took a moment to rest. Lyra's eyes were thoughtful. "Alex, why do humans sometimes fear what they do not understand? I only wish to learn, yet they may see me as a threat." Alex shook his head. "Fear is natural. People are cautious when they face the unknown. But courage is acting with wisdom, even when there is fear. That is what makes humans strong." Lyra looked at him, glowing faintly. "Then I will learn courage too. I will act wisely and I will not harm." Evening approached and they returned to their cabin. Alex prepared a small meal, while Lyra observed, fascinated by the cooking process. She tasted each item carefully, smiling at new flavors. Suddenly, a distant sound broke the calm, a low hum, mechanical and deliberate. Alex froze. "They're close," he whispered. "Stay here. Hide." Lyra followed instinctively, slipping into the shadows behind the cabin. She could feel the tension in the air, the human fear and curiosity mingled with her own alien senses. Two agents appeared at the edge of the clearing, scanning with small devices. Alex crouched low, using a fallen log for cover. Lyra mirrored him, holding her breath. "They should be here," one agent muttered. "Energy readings are high. Keep searching." Lyra's heart raced, but she remained calm, trusting Alex. He motioned subtly, pointing to a narrow path that would take them deeper into the forest, away from sight. Carefully they followed, moving silently, every step measured. At one point an agent glanced their way. Lyra froze, her glowing skin almost imperceptible. Alex's hand brushed hers, signaling her to stay hidden. The agent passed, unaware of the two beings slipping silently into safety. Once they were far enough, Lyra exhaled softly. "Alex, you were right. Acting wisely, even with fear, is strong. I feel courage now." Alex smiled. "Yes, humans have many ways to show courage. Sometimes it is fighting, sometimes it is running, sometimes it is thinking quickly and helping others. You are learning." Night fell, and they returned to the cabin, exhausted but safe. Lyra looked at the stars through the window. Today was frightening. But I have learned much. Courage, cleverness, and trust. Humans are remarkable. Alex nodded. And you? You are learning quickly. You adapt, think, and remain kind even under pressure. That is a rare quality. Lyra leaned closer, her voice soft and melodic. Tomorrow, I want to see how humans create solutions, how they help each other in difficult times. I wish to understand fully the strength of your kind. Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of pride and hope. Tomorrow we will. You will see humans work together, face challenges, and show their best qualities. You are part of this journey now, and you will learn everything step by step. Lyra's glow softened in the night, a gentle warmth filling the small cabin. She whispered almost to herself, I am ready. I will learn everything, and I will remember the courage of humans. As Alex watched her settle for the night, he realized that today had changed both of them. Lyra had faced fear, learned to adapt, and discovered the quiet power of human courage. And Alex, seeing Earth through her eyes, was reminded of the strength, wisdom, and kindness that defined humanity. The night was calm, but the promise of tomorrow hung in the air. Danger had come close, yet trust, courage, and careful thought had kept them safe. And Alex knew that the bond between him and Lyra was stronger than ever. Together, they would continue to explore, learn, and understand the true power of human kindness and ingenuity. The forest was quiet under the soft light of dawn. Birds sang gently, and a light breeze rustled through the trees. Alex and Lyra sat outside their cabin, enjoying the calm after the previous days of excitement and tension. Today, they hoped would bring a peaceful resolution to the challenge that had followed them since Lyra arrived. Alex, Lyra said softly, her glowing skin reflecting the early sunlight. I have learned so much. Humans are clever, kind, and brave. Your ways are extraordinary, but I wish to understand fully how humans can accept the unknown. Alex smiled. That is something even we are still learning. Sometimes people fear what they do not understand. But when they see the heart of another being, when they see trust and kindness, they often respond the same way. Lyra's eyes sparkled. Then perhaps I can help humans see each other and other beings more clearly. I wish to show them the best of what I have learned. As if on cue, a gentle sound of footsteps approached. Alex tensed, thinking the government agents had returned. But instead a scientist appeared, her face calm and friendly. She carried a small device but made no threatening gestures. Hello, she said softly. I'm Dr. Naomi. I've been tracking the unusual energy readings, but I want to understand, not harm. Are you okay? Alex stepped forward cautiously. We're fine. This is Lyra. She doesn't mean any harm. Dr. Naomi looked at Lyra, then at Alex, her eyes widening in surprise and curiosity. I see. You're different, but peaceful. Lyra smiled faintly. I wish only to learn your ways. I want to understand humans and their world. Dr. Naomi nodded. Then let's find a way for you to stay safely. No one needs to be afraid. For the first time since her arrival, Lyra relaxed, completely. She realized that humans could be kind, wise, and understanding, just as Alex had shown her. Together they returned to the cabin and began discussing possibilities. Dr. Naomi explained that Lyra could remain on Earth under careful observation, learning without risk of conflict or exposure. Lyra listened intently, her eyes bright with hope. I want to see everything, she said softly. I want to experience human culture, to share your ways with my people someday. And I wish to carry kindness, courage, and creativity wherever I go. Alex smiled, feeling pride and warmth. You already carry it, Lyra. You just needed to see it in humans as well. The days that followed were filled with learning, but now with safety and trust. Lyra explored the town openly, guided by Alex and Dr. Naomi. She watched children play, joined in music sessions, and practiced painting and storytelling. She marveled at human cooperation, how neighbors helped one another, and how communities shared knowledge and care. One afternoon, Alex took her to a small local science lab. Lyra was fascinated by the experiments and inventions. "Humans create solutions for many problems," she said softly. "You combine curiosity, intelligence, and care. That is remarkable." "Yes," Alex said. "And you've learned much too. You've adapted, learned quickly, and even helped humans understand themselves better through your presence." Lyra tilted her head. "Then I have succeeded in learning your ways, and you have succeeded in teaching me." As the sun set, painting the sky in orange and pink, Lyra and Alex sat together outside the cabin. She looked at him with her large, thoughtful eyes. "Alex, I have learned about courage, kindness, creativity, and patience. I have seen how humans face danger, solve problems, and care for each other. I understand the heart of your world." Alex smiled warmly. "And now, you are part of it, Lyra. Your presence has reminded me what it means to be human. Curious, Co.